Hello. It's been a minute. So before we do get into everything, just want to wish everybody a happy new year. 2024 is officially here, which is kind of crazy because it feels like 2023 happened like way too fast, but that's beside the point. But as promised, here I am giving a little channel update 2024 plan video. This is not bad news by any means. In fact, it's quite a bit of good news, but anyway, let's just kind of get into it. So for pretty much all of 2023, my consistency on the channel, which you've probably noticed, has been a bit up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and the only real videos I made all year were the IMAX reviews. There were a couple of things here and there, like a couple attempts at live streams, a couple Blu-ray unboxings, a couple little things like that. But of course, even those videos weren't as consistent as I would have liked them to be. You know, there'd be a few months where I'd be like, boom, just right on top of it with every video, and then there'd be times where I kind of just vanished for a couple of months, and then came back and then vanished again, which again, I do apologize for that happening, but I just kind of want to explain myself a little bit. So with the IMAX reviews themselves, you know, I have enjoyed making those videos a lot, and a lot of you have really enjoyed watching those videos, so thank you so much for checking those out. Ever since I started doing them in summer 2022, they've been a great piece of content for the channel, something I can regularly put out that people actually enjoy, which is super cool. Don't worry, I have no intention of stopping making those videos, even though I kind of did for the last couple of months. But, you know, a lot of that came down to just some different changes in my life, you know, getting a second job, and just a few other personal things that were kind of getting in the way, or things I had to focus on, or maybe focused a little too much on. When I'm only able to put out those kinds of videos and it feels like, oh, I can only really get these ones done, it kind of starts to put me in a rut creatively. It's like, okay, just kind of making the same video over and over again sometimes. You know, not every time, but, you know, it just kind of feels like, oh, here I am just kind of doing the routine thing, you know? So it's made me think more about, like, you know, what I want to do with the channel, and like where things have gone with the channel in the past and what I really want to do with it. You know, like a lot of people, I started the channel in like 2016 or so. It's almost the 8-year anniversary, by the way. And, you know, just kind of wanted to review a bunch of movies, you know, a bunch of new releases, maybe do some Blu-ray reviews, talk spoilers, you know, all the usual stuff you'd expect from a movie review YouTube channel, basically. But over the last couple of years, I've kind of noticed that I really don't want to be the guy that tries to, like, review every single movie that comes out, you know, and especially in the last, like, year or so, I'm like, holy crap, it's a lot to keep up with, you know, trying to do spoiler talks and rankings and trying to have some sort of, like, live show going on, too. You know, I just kind of start to think, you know, is this particular space really for me? Because, you know, there's so many other people that do it a lot better and are 10 times more consistent, but I'm like, you know, no, because I still really like making content about movies and things like that. You know, so when something comes along like the IMAX reviews, or even the Blu-ray reviews in the past, where, you know, that kind of was the thing on the channel for a while, it's like, okay, cool, I kind of found a little thing that I can sink my teeth into, but, you know, I need to be able to do more than that, you know? That's where doing some of the more experimental stuff in the last couple of years, like the merch hunting videos, the occasional vlog kind of thing here and there, the History of Hype series, which I do kind of want to bring back, but who knows when that's going to happen. And, you know, just kind of taking some time to make stuff like that every so often was like really what kind of kept the creative juices flowing and things like that. But there's a whole nother side of like the creative spectrum that is me that I've not been able to fulfill a lot over the last few years or so. For those of you that don't know, you know, my background is basically in filmmaking. It's something I've been super passionate about since I was like 10 years old. I've got a whole ass college degree for it. You know, I've made a few short films in the past, you know, a few of them are on this channel actually, if you want to go back a few years. But, you know, ever since I graduated in 2019, just haven't really had a lot of genuine time to work on, you know, more filmmaking, short film kind of stuff, just, you know, due to life reasons and other things that we weren't necessarily in control over in 2020, if you catch my drift, which kind of leads into the next thing. So you guys saw on Christmas Day, I posted a new short film, The Christmas Brick. Thank you guys so much for checking that out, by the way. And, that kind of came out of nowhere, unless you've been following my socials and stuff. But yeah, that short film was something I've been working on for the past 2 months or so, which is part of why the IMAX reviews and other stuff kind of disappeared, because I was just knee-deep into all of that. But working on that film, which, again, I had a blast working on that, by the way, it really just kind of got the wheels turning in my head more of like, okay, is there more of this kind of stuff I could do, but maybe translate into other types of videos? And then my mind just totally exploded. I'm like, okay, I have so many more ideas than I've had in a very long time. So part of that couple months here where I didn't make any videos, it was just me kind of planning things out, brainstorming, and coming up with a plan for 2024. So here it is. First and foremost, don't worry, the IMAX reviews are going to make a comeback. I know I've been very scatterbrained about making those the last year or so, and I've missed out on a couple somewhat big releases, but I got all the big ones. I got Oppenheimer, which was a great one, Mission Impossible among others, but basically those videos are going to make a comeback in 2024, which is right now. But also, I'm not going to promise you that every single movie that gets an IMAX release this year is going to get a review out of me. But like I said, all the big boy ones, like your Dune Part 2s, your Furiosas, your Godzilla X Kongs, those will all be provided reviews. So don't worry, you will be fed. But to go along with that comes the more, I'm going to call it the experimental phase. So the Christmas Brick was basically the beginning of this experimental phase where, once in a while I'm going to release a short film or like a short sketch, if you will, and then a subsequent behind the scenes video, maybe a couple of reels here and there. It might be a full-blown behind the scenes video like the one for Christmas Brick is going to be in a few days or a week or so, or it might be just a video that kind of goes into how like we did one particular technique to bring the film to life or something like that. But that's not me saying that this channel is going to be completely short films from now on and some BTS, because that's not sustainable. I've also got some really cool ideas about going out in the world and trying different techniques and maybe other filmmakers have used, big Hollywood types, but do it on like a lower budget, and also maybe give some tips and tricks on, just what it takes to bring projects to life every once in a while, my own process, things like that. Because over the last, 10, 15 years of watching YouTube, one of the things I've enjoyed most consistently are a lot of filmmaking channels that, number one, kind of give tips and tricks and teach you how to do different things, but also give you fun behind the scenes videos, or just, some different challenge videos that pertain to movies and things like that, which is something I also have ideas for, kind of bring some of my fellow creatives together and kind of give some challenges that are related to movies or things that we can just simply talk about movies, make videos about them, but just have fun with it. And honestly, I'm very excited about getting those going. I've got so many that are kind of in the works simultaneously here. The content is still going to be all about movies and, filmmaking, content creation, so it's all going to stay under the same umbrella. We're just kind of expanding the umbrella a bit, if you will. I'm going to kind of wrap things up here by saying once again, thank you to everybody who's been enjoying the content of the IMAX reviews or unboxings or, whenever you might have joined, the channel. I've got some other things I'm working on, like maybe a Discord server for everybody here that could join in, share some fun posts or have just more intimate conversations and stuff, and some other things here and there that I won't get into just yet, because it's really the focus right now is about just kind of getting back into a regular stream of content and things like that. But if you haven't already, make sure you check out my short film right over here. Otherwise, we'll see you on the Brockopp side.